Good evening to all of you. Okay. So today I will introduce our first trainer. He is Dr. R.K. Mongesh Das. Is a master trainer, coach, speaker, consultant, and professor. He is the president of Institute of Center for the Human Development and Neuro-Linguistic Research Center president, and he also advisor of Turan. He also part of several institutions as an adjunct professor. In his credit of qualification, he got his PhD in stress management, MPhil, master degree in PMR, MBA in HR, and acclaimed as the international NLP master trainer, where he is a giant, you can say, and have 27 years and more than that, have an experience of experience as an expertise in human behavior and expertise in as a corporate trainer, as a coach, and as a management industry trainer. He acts as a NLP coach, OD consultant, behavioral and sales trainer, speaker. He's a professor in HR and OB areas. He also a gold medalist of NIPM SB Mishra Gold Medal for Excellence in HR he got. And there are several achievements in the credit of Sir. I proudly introduce Sir in front of our MBA student. Sir is going to deliver on a topic that is what corporate experts in job interview. I really wish Sir will enjoy this session as well as our student. And I welcome on behalf of DDC, Sir. I welcome you, and I hope these 2 hours student will be interact with you and get enough information about the topic. Sir, the floor is yours, and I really welcome you on behalf of DTC, sir. Thank you.
I think, am I audible now, ma'am?
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Rasmi. And madam, whenever students want, can they unmute and talk?
Yes, sir, we'll do that, sir. Certainly, okay, sir. Both unmute. Sir, please unmute yourself, sir.
Oh, somebody muted me. Okay, anyways.
Sir, actually, we unmute the students. That's why the process was like this.
Okay, and slide permission, share permission is given to me,
yeah,
right?
It is there, sir. You can share your slides, sir. No issues in that.
Okay, thank you. I'm always very happy whenever I take a session with DDC, because I always have seen the way DDC courses are managed, the way students are given whatever they deserve and they desire. It is of a highly professional standard. That is why I always love to be here. So my dear friends, what is my topic today is I'm going to tell you what is the expectation of corporates today and what you should be preparing so that when you appear for the placement interviews, job interviews, not only immediately after the course or any point of time, you will definitely find yourself in a very comfortable positions. So for this, what I want is absolute discipline for the 2 hours. You will not make, you will be completely in sync with me. Anytime you need to ask a question or want to tell something, suggest something. Sorry, madam. Anyways, so be very, very careful about your audio, video when you are in the session. I want absolute discipline for these 2 hours. So whenever you have any question or you want to share something, or I ask you some questions you need to answer, that moment you must unmute, talk to me, and then you can again keep yourself on in the mute. And if you want to write something on the chat window, you can always do that. So I want, since this is an online program, I would love to see each of you in a safe position to attend. Like if somebody is driving, somebody is cooking, somebody is doing anything else, please make yourself completely comfortable and attend this program, because always we believe safety first. Okay. So therefore, let me tell you about why today we are discussing the points that corporates are really looking for something very unique in each of you. And before we begin, I hope all of you know how to respond in Zoom. So when I ask you, like, do you know something or are you ready? Just show me a thumbs up like this. And if you agree to some of the points that I'm talking about, you can further, give the kind of icon that you find which is appropriate for that. Okay. Yes, as Sambi showed a thumbs up, whenever I ask you that, are you ready? You just got to give me a thumbs up. So let me ask you the first question. Do you have pen and paper with you? Let me see how many thumbs up I'm going to get. I get a couple of thumbs ups, about 10, 12, 11. Okay. I think only so less students you have the pen and paper. Not many. Okay. Okay. Now, since I see that couple of you have got the pen and paper and you are ready for it, so let me give you a small mathematical calculation to see if you can do that. And whenever, and just keep yourself mute throughout the session. When you want to talk, then only on mute. So by chance, if your phone gets unmuted, check it up and keep on mute, because otherwise the background noise may disturb our learning. Okay. So while we are going ahead with the session today, I'm just gonna give you a calculation, mathematics calculation. And this is called as, this mathematics calculation is going to tell all of us what is in your mind now. That means, are you ready for this session or not? So if you are ready with the pen and paper, then we can start this one. Okay. And I came to know also that you all are ready. So let me start this activity with you. This is a mathematical calculation. And as you do this mathematical calculation, you will actually find what is in your mind now and how much you are ready for the session. So here it is for you. Okay. So what you got to do, my dear friends, please write any favorite number you have got from 1 to 9 on your copy. Okay. And you're not going to write this number in the chart window. Just write it in the copy. And whenever I'm going to ask you, what did you get the result, then only you are going to tell me what result you got. Okay. Before that, you're not going to put anything on the chart window. So here we go for you. So you wrote a number from 1 to 9. Now, whatever number you wrote here, multiply that number with 3. So whatever number you got here, multiply that number with 3. Okay. Now, after multiplication, you might have got a result here. So what you got to do? Now, whatever result you got here, make an addition of 3 to that. So the number, multiplication of 3, whatever you got, make an addition of 3. Now with an addition of 3 here, you might have got a result here. Whatever you got here, again multiply with 3. Now, interestingly, you might have got a 2-digit number and you got to make both the numbers to be added. Addition of both the numbers. Suppose you have got 15, you got to make 1 plus 5 is equal to 6. If you have got 28, you got to make 2 plus 8 is equal to 10, like that. Okay. After addition, if the final number that you got is 1, then you are thinking of your home now. If the final number you got is 2, you are thinking of money. If the final number you got is 3, you are thinking of a movie. If it is 4, you are thinking of a friend. If it is 5, you are thinking of what's in dinner. If it is 6, you are thinking of the weather. If it is 7, you are thinking of how you are looking now. If it's 8, you are thinking of politics. And if it's 9, you are thinking of being industry ready. So that means you're fantastic and getting ready for the session. So may I now know what did you get in this calculation? How many of you got what? Can I get something on the chat window? If you can write. I see Gita got 9, Mohit 9, Vikas 9, Jayanti 9, and Priya 9. Okay, Loknath 9. Not very more. Sagarika got 9. Okay. Chinmay got 9. Ramesh got 9. Devasis got 9. Sambit got 9. So I find now many of you, Chab got 9. Shantosh, Asutosh, Subhashmita also got 9. Okay, so very good. Vijay Lakshmi, Tapsum, Rasmita, and Rupali, Subhalakshmi, Dibya Jyoti. Okay, great. Sangram, Chandan, Ranjit. So I see many of Deepak and many of you just got 9. Okay, since all of you got 9, that means all of you are now ready for the session. Okay, that's fantastic. That's wonderful. Dhananjay also got 9. Let me tell you, the industry we are encountering today, the industry that we are encountering today is completely different from the industry when we did management, you know. And you are in this year called as, this is 2022. I got into management in the year 1992. So I completed my graduation in 1992. That I got into management in Utkal University. There is a department called PMIR, and we got into that. You know, till we got into this management degree in 1992, we didn't really experience what is the powerful change that happened to our Indian economy. And that is how, you know, today we are discussing what we are discussing today. We see industry's requirements are completely different than the requirement of industry we had during our time. And if you understand this transition, why, how, what industries are looking for today, maybe you really can prepare yourself, you know. So what happens before 1992, or maybe around 87, 88, 89, suddenly the economy of the country was not in good shape. You know, some challenges happened and all. So a lot of companies who are mostly, you know, operated, and they found they're not doing profit. A lot of industries went on closure, employment was not good. So a lot of challenges happened there that time. Therefore, in 1992, a big decision was taken, 1991 and around 92, a big decision was taken. And there was a complete transformation that happened. And all of you know what transformation is, isn't it? So some of you, I think, okay, I think you have muted, I think Sudarshanji. Just if you check it up, I think you have unmuted. Just keep yourself on mute. Okay, so all of you are in mute. Yes, fantastic. And you know, in 1992, the change happened, and 92, 93, 94, you know, we actually experienced that. And this change is coined in 3 words. We call LPG. You know the full form of LPG, right? All of you. Can I get a thumbs up if you know the full form of LPG? Can I get a thumbs up? I get 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 84 participants, only 12 thumbs ups, huh? So, okay, I'm getting a couple of good number. Okay, very good. Now, who can write the full form of LPG on the chart window? Let me see who is the quickest to write amongst yourself. 82 of you, 83 of you. Let me find who is the quickest of you to write. Wow, Saubhagya wrote the quickest. Liquid petroleum gas. Wonderful. Again, Chandan wrote liquid petroleum gas. Fantastic. Who else can write? Wow, Rupali. Oh, I think, I don't know what's your name. Once upon a time. May I know your name, please? Once upon a time. Okay. Ronak. So Ronak is once upon a time. If you look at, I think then Devasis is also writing something very interesting. If you look at many of you are Devasis, yes. Susmita, Subhasmita, Priya, Pritimai. You know, I'm seeing quite a different answers. If you can browse the answer, you will find there are 2 types of answers are there. Vikas also wrote, you know, Bhavani wrote. If you look at the answers, you find there are 2 types of answer. One answer you see is called liquefied petroleum gas. Second answer you get is called liberalization, privatization, globalization. Actually, that moment, the LPC era that came up is actually called as that liberalization, privatization, globalization. When liberalization, privatization, globalization, it happened, a great change happened to the economy. The way industries were operating during the moment we entered to the industry management, and now there is a sea change that has happened. And that is why Pankaj also wrote about liberalization, privatization, globalization. That is why what we do today, when we are working in industries today, they are seeking for some qualities which are completely unique. And you all are the generation which is completely a new generation. And you are, whatever industry is looking for from you is very, very unique. Okay. So that's why when liberalization, privatization, globalization happened, what happened? The first change that happened to the complete structure of thinking of individuals. Now, if I ask you, can someone tell me what is the meaning of the word liberalization here? Can some amongst you can tell me what is the meaning of the word liberalization? Anyone? Liberalization of trade laws. Okay, I think this is Roshan, huh? Marketing law, change in the policy. That means what happens? Lot of licenses which were there for doing a business got easier, so that the economy became easier. Then we say privatization. That means what happened? Lot of business was given to the private hands because it was loosening of the government, the license controls and all. So second thing that happened, privatization means a lot of business, it went to the private hands. And because it was understood, generally a private business will not aim for losses. So yes, you are absolutely right. Anu has written, very interestingly, and Anu, you are absolutely right. So that's why, what happened when things went to the private hands, it was believed that private business will not look to sustain or to look to commit losses. Rather, they will definitely make the business successful, okay? They will put their last efforts to make the business successful. Second thing, when this LPG happened, the globe became a village. Like we all got connected to country, we got connected. I remember during our time, if somebody used to say, I had gone to United States, people used to look, oh my God, this guy has gone to United States. Today, somebody is saying, I'm going to United States. It is considered as very easy. Okay, anybody can go. He is going because, when globalization happened, the boundaries of, going from one country to another country become easier. So people now, they find that it becomes easier for people to, travel and get connected and understand. That is why, free movement across the globe that happened here, as Vikas has written. Therefore, the first thing it happened, lot of companies, they came to India to make their business because entering India become very easy. We call it like MNCs. A lot of MNCs they come up. During our time when we are students, if somebody was asking, tell the name of some of those MNCs, believe me, it was very difficult to tell even 50 MNCs name. Only 50, 30 MNCs name, it was difficult for us to tell. Now, if anybody will ask you, can you tell me the name of the MNCs, you really can tell it many. Minimum 100 MNCs name you can tell, because starting from your shoes to the specs you wear, it's all being a brand of an MNC. Many of are being brands of MNC. So you really can tell. And today, thanks to the present movement that our system is doing, which is called as homegrown, we say Ssdc movement, and the homegrown movement has begun. We say made in India. Also, it happened. So like that, what happens? The business became very easy. When the business became very easy, when corporates, they came to India and India became a hub of corporates, they wanted to take people who understands business. Earlier, what happens? Somebody is just topper in any of the topic, any of the subject they are studying, any of the course they are doing. Most of the toppers are being picked up by the industries for their business. But then there was a sea change. They told, the first thing first, we want to hire people who wants to understand our business. That's the thing. when you are going to be recruited by companies, and since you are doing MBA, management students, the first thing companies may look from you is that you understand the business. Suppose some of you are applying for a job in an insurance sector, then you must understand how insurance economy operates, how insurance business goes, how many varieties of business that is included into the purview of insurance. Somebody is going to go for banking. You must understand how the banking system operates. If you do not understand the trade, it will not be easier for you to be successful in that organization till you do not understand the trade. That in our language, we call it as business acumen. So the first thing that you must be having a word called as business acumen. So just look at what I'm writing it here. You call business acumen. Business acumen, sorry, I wrote to some of your personal, because I think you had sent. Now I am just sending it in group, which is called as the business acumen. So that became the first thing, business acumen. That means any industry you want to join, you must understand the business. So that is the first thing that happened. The second thing that our industries they're looking for today is next to the business is called as, since you are going to be in the business, and you got to move the business for business to earn profit, definitely. Second thing organizations are looking for today is called as result orientation. And the third thing, which is very, very essential for industries, is called as execution excellence. So anything that you are doing, you must execute things very properly. And the fourth thing, which is very, very essential for industries, is called as an absolute good communication skills. An absolutely good communication skills. These four are the things, are the qualities which are being looked for today. Maybe during our time, around say 90s, it was not being, these four were not the complete indicator. But today, this is what you should actually hold. There are many other indicators are there, many other things are there, but this is what you must absolutely be keeping within yourself if you really want to be successful in today's business. Therefore, when we are saying that we are going for a corporate ready kind of thing, and we are becoming corporate ready, so this is something we must keep in mind now, and let us see how it is being going. So therefore, when we are looking for, I told you during our time, certainly the economy in a class, lowest growth in economy, business slowdowns, closure of industries, unemployed professions, all this stuff happened. So there we actually made something called LPG, that is called Liberalization, Privatization, Globalization. And then certain changes it happened. And let me tell you what is these changes that happened, okay? So industries are now looking for people who are highly on business acumen, result orientation, execution excellence, communication skills. So generally, during our time, what happens? If a person is very good with knowledge he is having, then he was or she was getting recruited. Then only the toppers of the industry or the courses were getting recruited by the organization easily. And little less importance was given to the skills, and maybe towards attitude, very slight importance was given. But today this equation is completely changed, right? First thing first is given is attitude, then skills, and then knowledge. I give you a beautiful example. When I was there with a business school earlier, I worked with a business school in Bhubaneswar. So one campus interview was happening. And in that campus interview, a company had come. I'm not naming any company who had come and recruited. So the company had come for the recruitment. Then they were looking for students in marketing or sales who will be posted in a place called as Guwahati, And those days, Guwahati was under little, it was not an easy place to work. It was under a bit of, turbulence the place was going. When they were recruiting students, and they were asking some of the students, and they were saying, okay, this is the vacancy, this is the package, will you go and join? Many students are telling, sir, don't give us Guwahati, give us anywhere else. We can work because Guwahati is not going good, so we may not join there. So many students were, not getting agreed for that location. Then during the break, after some interviews, the HR who are recruiting, he came up and told, let us increase the salary and see what happens, because they were giving a very good salary. They increased another 30,000-40,000 rupees annual increment, the annual package, and they told, let us see what it happens. And again, they found some students that like, no, sir, Guwahati don't give us anything. And they had actually the vacancy in Guwahati. Then one of the student, who was there, when he was being asked, will you be placed in Guwahati, you know what answer he gave? He told, sir, is there anyone, the target you are giving and the task you are asking me, is there anyone who is working in that location getting that result? And anybody? Then, the interviewer told, yes, there are a couple of people who are getting the result and working very nicely. Then this guy is telling in Hindi, he was telling in English, suddenly he just told a word in English, in Hindi. He told, sir, agar ek bhi banda kaam kar raha hai na, same result mein wo jagah pe, to मैं भी कर लूंगा. If he can do, I can do. This idea, when he heard, he felt so good on that guy, and the recruiter definitely at a very good price. And this HR, he comes back and tells us, yaar kya banda hai, this guy, he says, if someone can do, I definitely can do. That is called as a principle in neuro-linguistic programming. We believe it as a presupposition. It is being told, if one can do, anyone can do. This is definitely, when people with knowledge, they're not feeling comfortable, confidence to work in that area, but one person with similar result, he felt so confident, he said, I can do that. And this is called as attitude. When you have a positive attitude, believe me, you can move mountains. That is why what organizations are looking today is almost just the opposite. They are looking for people who are attitude-wise very, very strong. Earlier, attitude was not given that kind of a value by all the organizations. So when this transformation happened, this knowledge, skills, and attitude, it just got reversed into attitude, skills, and knowledge. I remember when I was asking to one of the HR of a particular company who had come for recruitment to an engineering college, I told, sir, why are you not giving the same, or why are you giving attitude more than their present level of knowledge? You know what the HR told? He told, Mangesh, if you come and see in our organization, our training department, our training modules, the whole C++, that time, C++ was being, is a very good domain knowledge, people they were learning. He told the whole C++, a person can learn in 30 days completely. It is such a nice, our training department and our training process is that when they can learn such a knowledge, because knowledge is given, knowledge is in our control now, knowledge is being completely programmed. When people, they can get it. So what I should be selecting for people is definitely with a base knowledge, along with that with a high attitude. So that's what happens. Today, you are sitting on a parlance where high attitude and very, very essential. And second thing, it happened in the 90s, whatever is a top marking, suppose a topper during that time, bearing very few, 80-85% a person has secured, means the person is secure, looked like a very, very high, caliber student. Today, we say 80-85% is the average percentage, So during our time, the top percentage has become an average percentage in your time. That is why, what you are going to do, the knowledge that we are talking about, the highest knowledge during that time, it becomes a base knowledge for you. And with this knowledge, you got to go for the high level of, attitude and skills. If you really can do that, you will be very, very successful, and you will be very nicely being taken by the company. So there is another change that happened, when we are talking about the career proficiency during our time, what it happened, the thing that was being considered during our time is called as somebody has to be specialist in the knowledge, So then a phase came, this is before our time, then a phase came, it is being considered to be jack of all trades and master of none. And today, what is being considered that jack of all trades and master of one. Like you are supposed studying about finance, you should be a master in your domain, along with very ample knowledge of all other functions that operates in the organization. That is why you should understand how the business operates. And that is what we call it as business acumen. So if you know how the business operates, you are to a great extent, you are thorough with the organizations and you really can do. Now let me do a small exercise with you. And this exercise while I'm doing, you will not copy it from internet. You will do by yourself, okay? So you are not going to copy anything from internet. So are you all ready for this exercise? You are not going to copy from internet, okay? Just give me a thumbs up if you're ready. So 85 people are logged in. Let me see how many you can give me a thumbs up. How many if you're ready? So let me see. So 13, 14, 15, 16. Only 16. Okay. Jyoti, I see. Saubhagya, I see with a big thumbs up. Sangram is great thumbs up. So I get about 20 by now. Anu has given, Subhasmita has given. Great. So you guys, what you got to do, you will not look at internet. Okay. Here on the side, I'm saying Puspanjali giving me hands up. Puspanjali, any question you have got? Or it's a thumbs up? I think it's a thumbs up only for Puspanjali. So what am I going to do? Asudos gave a thumbs up. So what am I going to do is that you will not check internet. You will just do by yourself. Okay. Yes, you will just do by yourself. You will not check internet. So what I'm asking you to do, I say, Deva says, Mosami, you are giving me thumbs up. So what you're going to do, you will not check internet. You will not check any of the search engine. You will not open any books. Just write down. I give you 5 minutes. And just with the condition that you are not going to look at internet or anything. I also got from Gita. So what you got to do, my dear friends, you got to write down 10 of your strengths. Okay. So Pradyus, Puspanjali, Tapsum, many and thumbs up I got. So what you got to do, you got to write down 10 of your strengths without looking any document. And I give you 5 minutes. Then I will check it with you after 5 minutes. I will check with you after 5 minutes that have you really, really written 10. Okay. Yes, Lixita, I saw. So, and you will be writing down Dhara in a piece of paper. Okay. You will be writing like Dhara wrote open-mindedness. That you write in the piece of paper you have got. Okay. So let us see. So like Ronak writes, farm grip and accounts. Ronak, this you are going to write on your piece of paper. Okay. So I just give you 5 minutes. This is 1906 in my watch. So I will be asking you in 1911. Till that, write down 10. Let me see how many of you can write down 10. You are not going to write on this chart window. Okay. So Jew Muser, I don't know what is your name. Yeah, you written sharp, well spoken, right on time. This you are not going to write on the chart window. I'm telling it repeatedly. Okay, Rutu, you are not going to write on the chart window. You got to write on a paper, not here, because if you are writing, everybody will again see this, no? So the exercise will not have any value then. Oh my God! Again, are you not getting me? You are not going to write here. Ashraf, write in your copy, not to even send me. Okay, write in your copy, write in your paper. You have got 3 more minutes. You have got 1 more minute, last minute. I see many of you are done. Okay. So I see, a couple of you have already done it. Like when I see Smruti Smita done, Chandan done, Priya Pritimaya done, Jyoti done, and Bhavani Sankar done. So I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of you done. I think Asraf also had done. Okay, now more. Rutu, I get Janti, I get Rupali, Bhavani. Then I'm getting more names: Subhasmita, Likshita, Vikas, Jyoti. Okay, so I get about 20 people, 21 people, 22 who have done it. Okay. Now my second question to you is that I see a couple of you are done. I give you 5 more minutes, and without copying from any source, you will write on the same paper. Please write down 10 more. If you have written 10, please write down 10 more. And I give you 5 more minutes. So this is 1911 in my watch. So 1916, again, I will be asked you. And when you are writing, you are not going to write any synonym of what you have written. Okay, you are not going to written, suppose there you have written communication. Here you will not again write expressive, This is synonym to communication. So you will write unique more 10 qualities. And thing is that you have written already 10 qualities. So, Santosh, you have written already 10 qualities. You will write 10 more. Matlab ye 10 ko aap 20 karoge. So, you have written 10 qualities. You are going to make it. I'm repeating again, Santosh. I think you have a network drop. So, you have written 10. Now, you have to make it 20. So, you have to write 10 more. Okay. Okay. Let me see. And you are not going to see it from any source, because then you will not understand the value of this program. So you have to make 20. I will ask you exactly after 3 more minutes. Yes, Santosh, 10 more qualities of manager. That you have. That you have. Okay, I think my time is done. My time is done, and I find Devasis written got 2 more. Gita has written give me a thumbs up. Asutosh has given me 8 only. Tabassum done. Rituparna done. Total 8 done. Rituparna has given done, and couple of you have given me done. Now tell me, and you can unmute and talk to me now. Ronak has written total 15. Which one was easier for you? Puspanjali has written 12. So which one was easier for you? The first 10 or the second 10? You can unmute and talk to me. Wow, I see Chandan's display picture. And Chandan is really, really a muscular man. Huh? So Chandan.
Thank you, sir.
So nice of you. A wonderful display picture. So can you tell me which one is difficult? Whether the first 10, Bhavani has written total 17. I think Sweta, this is Sweta. Shweta has written 12. Likshita has written 12. So tell me which one is easy? The first, Shubhasmita 14.
So the first yes,
The first 10 was easy, right? The second 10 was not easy.
yes,
Huh? It is difficult. Rupali has given 14.
No, sir, both are easy, sir. First one and second one.
And second one. Now, which one is easier, first part or second part, or both are the same?
Actually, the first part was easier because we had to only we had a lot of options actually, and we need to only pinpoint 10. But the second time when we have asked to write 10 more, then we need to actually compare like which we have already written, and we need to actually put a little more effort. So I felt like second time we had to put little more effort.
Yes, so it's a little more. Now, if I very nice, Mr. Priti and Pritimaya, Priya Pritimaya. Okay, wonderful name. How many P are there in your name? 1, 2, 3. 3 P's are there.
So, PQ, yeah.
Okay, PQ. And even Santosh told, Santosh Das, that both are easy.
Yes, sir, both are easy.
Both are easy.
Both
now,
are
suppose I ask you to write down 10 more. Do you think it will be easier, same like earlier, it will be difficult?
Little bit difficult now.
Little difficult, sir.
Now it will be difficult, isn't it? Jyotika is also telling it will be difficult. Santosh is telling, Bhavani is saying it will be now challenging. Now, I'm just showing you something. You see that page, huh? You just look at that page. That page is a list of positive qualities. When you look at that page, whatever meaning you do not get, you leave that. Not to put any focus on that. If you are not understanding the meaning, you leave that. But whatever meaning you understand, look at that. And when you read that page, you will tell me how many you think are the qualities which are present within you. What you got to do, you got to write that number. The way you are writing here, Rupali, Mausami, Likshita, Santosh, the way you are writing the points, the number on the chart window, you are going to write it once again. So I'm going to show you a list. Look at the list and just count in the list which are there in the list that you think are your qualities. That means you just read the list and you can still go on writing the qualities in your copy. So for this, I give you 5 minutes more. So I'm opening up the list now on this window. Look at and read the list. Whatever you think it is present within you on a fresh paper, write on a fresh paper all this stuff. And you see now how different it becomes, okay? Now how different it becomes. Just look at it now. I hope you're able to see this list, or you want me to increase a bit?
Please zoom it because I'm using in mobile phone.
Okay.
A bit.
Yes, sir, able to see.
Able to see?
It can be zoomed, sir.
Okay, just give me 1 minute. Once again, I'm showing it to you. Huh? Just give me 1 minute. Some of you are connecting from mobile also, no? So I didn't know that. Give me a minute.
That's okay. Even we can zoom it in a phone also. But that's
the phone also, no? Okay, 1 minute.
Yes, sir, he's using phone.
On phone itself.
Okay. Just give me a minute. I'm just putting it up. How is the temperature now in Bhubaneswar, Odisha? Has it gone up?
Sir, the
It's
humidity
29 degrees.
is very more.
29 degrees Celsius now.
Acha, okay. Just look at it. Is this visible to you now?
Yes, sir. Now it's
Yes, sir.
visible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
just look
sir.
at it and write on your copy as many as you find there within you. And if you want, you can take a screenshot of this. You can take a photocopy of this screen. And then you write down, I give you 5 minutes, read this and write down whatever you think is present within you. If you do not understand any meaning, just leave that. Okay. If you have seen this, okay, I see, I think, okay, Saubhagya, whatever you are not getting, you leave it now. I will be telling you the meaning little later. Let everybody just do that. Wow, Devas 59, Gita 68. Okay. Okay. Priya 50. Priya 50. Okay. Chandan 43. Santosh 27. Asutosh 35. Dhara 48. How do you pronounce Pradyusa? Pradyusa, no? Pradyus 45. Dhananjay 45. Jitendra 39. Good. So, आप लोग देखे होंगे, you have just seen that. I'm just taking this slide out. Pankaj 46, Bhavani 33, Puspanjali 49, Jyoti 35, Shubhasmita 50. I'm taking this slide out. And let me share one thing with you. आप लोग देखे होंगे, you might have observed that Mausami 50, you know. What happened? Now it became easier for you to find out your strengths, isn't it? So when I ask you for the first time, write it, Subhalakshmi 38, Janti 60. So when for the first time I told you write the strengths, it was easier. Then I asked you write another 10. It was little challenging. Then ask you to write down 10 more. It was further challenging. And when you see a list in front of you, it becomes easier to pick up yourself, the qualities, or it becomes easier to reflect within yourself, isn't it? So can someone tell me why it is easier now when you see the list of the qualities, why it became easier for you to take it and write it for you? Can someone tell me why this time it became easier?
So we got guidance.
Wow,
We got
Ronak has a very interesting.
reference.
Yes, Priya, what you said?
We have ideas.
We got a reference.
Just
You
to
got a reference. Chandan says got idea, isn't it?
Sir, election is always better than selection.
right, sir. Right, sir.
So Siva has an interesting point. Election and selection on that viewpoint. I love this point. Okay, Chandan has also an interesting point.
We got a few points in front of us so that it
Yes,
is easier.
Yes,
We
Santosh
got
tells you.
we got multiple choices like that.
Yes, Jagatika is. What is your name? Jagatika? Jyoti Jagatika? No?
Jyoti Jagatika Mohanty.
Jyoti Jagatika. Jyoti says that the points are in front of us. Ronak says it is a guidance. And if I combine all the words that you told, it is in front of us. It is a guidance, selection, election and selection. Okay, interesting points. And then says, okay, this is just there. Priya saying, okay, it is available, So Asutosh says, okay, in front of. So when you are talking about this point, so if I give it to one name, that is called as feedback. Since you have got the feedback in front of you, it becomes very easy to discover yourself when you get a feedback about yourself, isn't it? That is the first quality that you can actually, yes, easy to recollect. Mausami wrote it now. So that is the first thing, remember, when you want to discover yourself, how suitable you are for the corporate, how suitable you are for the industry, take feedback from people who are your teachers, your guides, your consultant, your mentors, and also whomever you know in industry. Because I know this is in DDC, when you are doing the course, many of you must be also working in industries, right? So if some of you are not working and some of you are working, make your connection with the people who are working in the industry and ask them, do you think what are the qualities present in me that can make me to connect with industry well, or to become the very, very strong, employee of choice? That means organizations will actually pick me. That is the first exercise you must be doing. And when you talk to as many as the people, because always the feedback is the best mechanism to discover yourself, And when people, they keep on giving you feedback, some of the feedbacks you will tell, okay, this is not required for me. Some of the feedbacks you will tell, oh, wow, I never see myself in that way. So that's why, this is the quickest mechanism of finding out who you are and how strong you can become. When I was doing a similar exercise, so generally there is an exercise, there is a science in HR or in management. Some of you must be knowing about that. That is called appreciative inquiry. The meaning of the appreciative inquiry is staying good in you or finding out what you are good at. So when we are doing an exercise, so we are a group of people who are there. All of us, we used to tell a success story of our life, like when the life was little challenged and how he dealt with the life to make the life very beautiful, or make the life very powerful, or very, the turnaround we had the life. After we tell the story, everybody will actually keep on writing what they got your strength from the story. And believe me, when I was there in this exercise, the kind of feedbacks I got, I told, yes, I am like that. I had never seen myself like that. When I discovered my own points being told by people from my own life stories, it made me so powerful. Then, when I'm talking to industry or anywhere, it just helped me a lot. So one of the qualities I tell you, which was present in me, I never realized it. But when it was being focused at me, I realized and find out, yes, I'm so powerful. And that quality was being identified by one of the participants who has a very good business in Bombay. And this lady, he told me, Mangesh, you are a person who is passively aggressive. So I never knew about what is the meaning of the word I never knew that I'm passively aggressive. I told, what do you mean by passively aggressive? He told, when I was hearing your life story, I understood that you are a very aggressive guy. That means you really, if you want, you can get this job done. But you will do it very peacefully. You will never put somebody to feel bad about when you are getting the person to get the job. You will do it very peacefully. The moment I realized that yes, I'm a passive guy because I'm a very peaceful person, but I'm also a very aggressive person. The moment I re-looked at that quality of mine, believe me, after that, when I was about to do things, I found there is a sea change coming in me. So similarly, you, from today's exercise, if you find some of the qualities are eye-opener for you, take it very strong and make the life go completely different. Or you connect with people, ask about what they understand about you, and believe me, the moment you get it, you will find very interesting. That doesn't mean that, generally we say, क्या कहते हैं, that is, there is a Hindi proverb, it is called सबसे बड़ी रोग क्या कहेंगे लोग, right? So that is what sometimes, for that, we generally do not take from people what they are talking about us. So it is called sabse badi rog, kya kahenge log. So the moment I take that into my life, maybe I cannot be open, I cannot be, communicative with people. So that's why what I want to tell that in your student life, if anytime, I'm seeing here, when I look at about 82 people are logged in. So agar mujhe or at DDC login ko chhod do, 80 people are there in your MBA batch. If you know someone, so what I say, make a plan that you connect personally with all the 80 people in the group. Make a way that you connect personally with all the 80 people. Just give me a moment. So what happens? Generally, we always tell that, suppose here you have got 80 students. आप अगर सबके साथ connect करोगे, if you connect with everyone, you know what happens? There will be every day you are going to learn something new from the person. And believe me, those learnings are very powerful. I tell you, I don't know it is which country. I'm just forgetting the name of the country. You can browse it in internet. In one of the countries, there is a library where you can, जैसे हम लोग लाइब्रेरी में जाते तो क्या होता है, किताब बोरो करके लाते हैं. In that library, you can borrow an individual, a human being, and then you can ask the human being to tell his life story. So when the human being tells about his life story, there is a lot of learning you can take from his life story, as a mechanism of feedback, as a mechanism of connect. And that's called as a great way of to do. And if you have strengths, you also have good weakness. And when you are going for a job, your industry readiness and companies are that looking for you on that aspect, they also look at your weaknesses. And the greatest challenge with people or what weaknesses, it is being spoken by a lady who is probably a role model for many. I'm just running a small video of that lady. You look at it and then you can understand how powerful it is. Huh? Give me 1 minute. Let me just connect that video.
Sir, are you talking
Sir, please
anything? You
unmute
are on
yourself.
mute.
Not audible.
Are you audible now? Am I audible now?
Yeah. Yes,
I
sir.
think
Now it's
Devashish and
audible.
Gita has given the
Yes,
answer.
sir.
Yes, this is the Human Library of Denmark. Okay, just a minute. So I'm showing you a video from YouTube directly. And this video, you know this lady? How many of you know her? Any of you who knows her?
Sir,
Yeah, Oprah Winfrey, right? So I'm showing a part of this video. So this is by Oprah Winfrey. I'm just showing a part of that video, which is very meaningful for all of you. So watch that part of the video of Oprah Winfrey. And this is that part of the video. Just observe this. Huh? Watch this.
You will find true success and happiness if you have only one goal. There really is only one, and that is this: to fulfill the highest, most truthful expression of yourself as a human being. You want to max out your humanity by using your energy to lift yourself up, your family, and the people around you. The single most important lesson I learned in 25 years talking every single day to people was that there's a common denominator in our human experience. We want to be validated. We want to be understood. I've done over 35,000 interviews in my career. And as soon as that camera shuts off, everyone always turns to me and inevitably in their own way asks this question: was that okay? I heard it from President Bush. I heard it from President Obama. I've heard it from heroes and from housewives. I've heard it from victims and perpetrators of crimes. I even heard it from Beyonce and all of her Beyonce-ness. Friends and family, yours, enemies, strangers, in every argument, in every encounter, every exchange, I will tell you, they all want to know one thing: was that okay? Did you hear me? Do you see me? Did what I say mean anything to you? My hope is that you will try to go out and have more face-to-face conversations with people you may disagree with. That you'll have the courage to look them in the eye and hear their point of view, and help make sure that the speed and distance and anonymity of our world doesn't cause us to lose our ability to stand in somebody else's shoes and recognize all that we share as a people. This is imperative for you as an individual and for our success as a nation. So whether you call it soul or spirit or higher self, intelligence, there is, I know this, there's a light inside each of you, all of us, that illuminates your very human beingness if you let it. And as a young girl from rural Mississippi, I learned long ago that being myself was much easier than pretending to be Barbara Walters. Although when I first started, because I had Barbara in my head, I would try to sit like Barbara, talk like Barbara, move like Barbara. And then one night I was on the news, reading the news, and I called Canada, Canada. And that was the end of me being Barbara. I cracked myself up on TV, couldn't stop laughing, and my real personality came through. And I figured out, oh gee, I can be a much better Oprah than I could be a pretend Barbara.
So you might have seen what it talks about. Human beings always have got a need, a demand to be validated. And once we just do away with that need, so once we just do away with that need of getting validated, that makes us to again, go very, very powerful and do that. And our life, we can see the power of our life. And that's what, whenever we are preparing ourselves for any of the future events, including the interviews, what we are looking at is how powerfully are we placed. That's why for each of you, look at these three qualities are very, very essential. So what we are talking about, some of you might be very, very good in academics, along with the scholastic activities and the professional skills. When you combine the three, that is what is being aimed from you. That not only only any one of the qualities, but all the three has to be there within you. And once you are able to display all the three, you are going great guns, because generally you will find the industry standards are also becoming better and better. Today, if you look at many organizations in the performance management system, they say that we are looking for people who can give more than 100% result. So if you look at the bell curve, how people are being segregated on performance-wise, you'll find the best performers today are not people who are giving their 100%, are people who are giving beyond 120%, 130% who are going. And they say above average are people who are beyond 100%, and 80% to 100% is considered to be an average. When they say your 100% KPI that you are going to do, result you are going to achieve is an average, so then how you are going to deal with that? That is why you have to go beyond that average, and you have to actually keep that within you. So generally what I did, I have taken about some data from about 83 recruiters, and for the last 12 years data. So I have analyzed with some of the, because I'm associated with some of the institutions when the campus interview was happening, I'm just checking what is it that the industries are looking for. And you will be happy to see, directly or indirectly, these are certain qualities, certain things, certain themes, which are being floated by the industries that yes, we are looking these in candidates. And these things can be, if you can look at, they said the students should have a very good functional knowledge. So if we are hiring for sales, the person should know that how sales is being done, and the person should love that domain. And the person is not coming to the domain as a compromise, and the person should love that domain, and he should be actually very happy to get into that. Is one of the things that a very good functional knowledge, you are having. Then they say understand the industry. As I was talking about business acumen as one of the competencies, that means the candidate who are going for an industry should actually understand the competency, and when you understand the industry, then you doing business with the industry becomes very easy. That means you must actually get the industry completely understood. Third, the thing they take about is aptitude. You should have a very good aptitude to, and that aptitude means measuring that whether you are fit for a future job or not. So that fitment has to be very good. Then they talk about you should be again having a good scholastic background, because these days, as I told you, a percentage of 70%, 75%, 80% is generally, it has become a normal, everybody is securing that. That is why you must be also in that background, where your scholastic background is good. Then they say you must be having an impressive personality as well. It's not that today industries are looking for people who are very dynamic, and when you appear for the interviews and all, if you do not appear, do not throw that energy, then maybe it's just not going to help for you. Then you talk about positive attitude. When you are into that industry or into the interview, you should show that yes, I will do that. Yes, I can do that. That positive attitude should be visible, from yes. And then we said that open to relocation. Generally, some of the candidates, what happens when they even go for their initial first job, sometimes they restrict themselves to a particular location. They say, only if you give me, I will be working here, and other locations I may not be. So in that case, you are limiting your scope for getting absorbed by the industry. So, this is called as you should be also open for relocation. Then ability to do the job. You should also have the ability to do the job, because if you have the ability to do the job, then what happens. This becomes easier for you and they must actually also they are testing with certain job related questions that are you really do. So it's not only the knowledge of the job that you're going, also the ability, the capability to do that. Then you must have a general awareness. So like we say that a lot of times they say read newspapers. Today, many people, they do not read newspaper because all the newspaper are thrown at the social media these days. And also on your palm top, when you have a mobile phone, all the news channels are there with you. That is why what happens, observe what is happening around, because your whole business revolves around the happening around you. If you do not have a knowledge about the happening around you, maybe you cannot operate the business, you cannot be in the organization and be that successful. So you should be having that, what is the environment in which you are operating. So this kind of the thing, the awareness part has to be there. And then we talk about the tolerance of ambiguity. The tolerance of ambiguity, the meaning of that, when you are working and you find things are not clear before you. So most of the time, people, they become very, very jittery. They just do not know what to do. They get palpitation. They just say that, oh my God, where am I landing? So that is why even if you find that there is an ambiguity in front of you, tolerate that. And when you tolerate the ambiguity, you will be actually liking it. Then you say ability to network. So you should have a very good ability to network with people, and that is really, really going to help you out, because the ability to network. Then mathematics, because mathematics is called as a language of logic. So you should not shy away from numbers. At least you should know the basic operation of numbers. जैसे क्या होता है जब इंटरव्यू में आप जाते हो, सपोज एंड यू आर मैनेजमेंट स्टूडेंट्स, एटलीस्ट यू शुड नो व्हाट इज प्रॉफिट, व्हाट इज एबिटा, व्हाट इज टैक्स, सम बेसिक्स knowledge and mathematics calculations you should be knowing, because this is very, very essential for your job. Then we say intelligence. It's not that you only are going with a mocked up answer. You should know if a micro case study is being thrown at you. You are in the interview and they give you a micro case study. They say, okay, this is the situation, what will you do? There, you must be strong enough to back up and to answer that. So that is called as your intelligence. Then we talk about energy, and when you are talking about energy, that means in the job interview itself, you should actually be showing your energy. Like you are not a guy who is lack of energy, because most of the jobs today demand also your physical involvement. We tell this job environment these days after pandemic as called digital. There is physical involvement as well. There is a digital involvement, and sometimes the digital involvement is also very tiring. Like suppose we are taking classes on digital mode. Sometimes, like when we are talking, because of the bandwidth issue, because of the background noise issue. Now, when I'm talking to you, you might be also getting a background noise, and I'm not responsible for the noise. This noise is being played by somewhere, and I cannot have any control. But you all are getting disturbed because of this noise. So that is what happens sometimes, because of the background noise and because of all this stuff. What it does, that disturbs people when they are communicating with them. So that is why that is how it happens, and you should be having that energy, and energy is something which are also being required. Then you should be dependable. The business can or the organization can create that trust on you. If they do not create that trust on you and you are not trustworthy, then maybe you're not fit for the organization. And then you should love the job. Okay. And then we say you should be also displaying something which is called organizational citizenship behavior. Like, we talk about we are the citizen of the country and we show our behavior like citizen of the country. Similarly, you should also be showing the behavior like citizen of the organization. Okay, give me a minute. I'm so sorry, friends. That was something I cannot avoid. So I have to just be there. So, we talk about the organizational citizenship behavior. So that's what it happens, in the digital mode. This is something, sometimes some unavoidable things comes up and you just cannot avoid certain things. So we say that the organizational citizenship behavior, like you should, as you are behaving like the citizen of an organization, you should also be behaving like the citizen of a citizen of a country. You should also be behaving like the citizen of an organization. And then we talk about something called as the advanced Excel. So this is another skill which is essentially required because it is being observed when people they get the job and they are being given a computers to work on that. One of the major thing people they do not know is the Excel calculations. Okay, so that is what we talk about is you should know about advanced Excel and at least a good amount of the utility of Excel, the calculations which is being talk about, and that is how we say that you should have the knowledge. Presenting PowerPoint presentation, very good PowerPoint presentations, word operations, emails, and these days, a lot of information are being internally communicated through videos. So video maker, video conference, and then some of the design things, if you know, that is always helpful. And communication, at least in the linguistics of English, Hindi, and the mother tongue, and the local language. Suppose you are going to be posted in a local place different from yours, then you should also be able to pick up that local language quickly. So this is something which is also be helpful for you. That's why these are the basic qualities generally we say we are looking for yourself. That's why when you are taking for any of the, okay, is there any question you want to ask, Puspanjali and Priya? I see you have raised the hands.
One point that you have seen, like workaholism. Nowadays, I think
workaholism means what we talk about. You should be workaholic friendly. That doesn't mean that you only work and work and work. Sometimes, suppose some work is given to you, and that takes a lot of your time. You should be okay with that because you might have seen. Generally, suppose you are joining and you are gradually growing up in your profession, it will so happen a lot of time will be consumed in travel. You might have seen many senior executives, middle-level executives, they travel from one place to another and they go monitor the center. Suppose one bank, they have got some branches, one guy who is moving up, and after completing the travel time, the time he spent on travel, again, he needs to put on his own job to complete that. And that is why if you see that, you find many executives that fly in the morning, suppose from Bombay, they go to Bangalore, they again travel, they finish up the task, come back again, airport, you will be finding they are working. So that what the meaning of the workaholism here is, complete the task within deadlines. Suppose you are compensating one activity for the task, again, that should not come ki main ye kar raha tha to kaam nahi kar paya. That is what I mean it here, the meaning of the workaholism here. Okay. Thank you. And Puspanjali, you have a point because I also see your hand is raised. No. Okay, good. Okay, so that is what, what we talk about is that when you are getting into this mechanism, then you see how it goes. So therefore, is there, which slide, Vikas, you are talking about? This slide, Vikas? I'm just putting it up for some time. Okay, Vikas, is that okay? Okay. So then what I talk about is that, so when you are finally getting into the interview, what do they ask you? Certain questions they will be asking you, which are from your knowledge. So suppose they ask you a specific subject. So they ask you certain specific subject, specific knowledge. You are asking, they're asking you, you are going for a sales interview or marketing interview. They will be asking from that. You are appearing for an HR interview. They will be asking you from there, so these are called as the job specific knowledge. उसमें क्या पूछते हैं आपको job specific knowledge में? You will find they will be asking you, important definitions in the interview. They will ask you, can you tell someone on the chat window? Dependable Likshita means the industry can depend on you. That means you are trustworthy. Okay. So that's what is called dependable. So therefore, when we look at that important definitions, at least we should have that capability to have the important definition. I mean, we should be remembering the important definitions within us. Then there's a common differences. So common differences means, suppose you are going for sales, they will ask you a question, what is the difference between sales and marketing? This is a basic common difference between these two terms. You are going for HR, they will ask you what is the difference between HR and personnel management. So personnel management and human resource management. These are called as the basic different guidelines, So the difference guidelines are like that. Then they will be talking to you about, these are the common differences. Then they will be talking to you about different papers being taught. They will ask you, can you tell me what are the papers you are being taught in this course? And when they ask you certain things, sometimes, many people, they even do not remember what are the papers they have taught. And I have said, this is such a tricky question. Many people, they just do not remember what they have studied even before one term or one semester. That is why, this is being a tricky question being sometimes asked, and you should not shy out from there. Rather, you should be there and you should be able to tell. Then the same, can you tell the name of some great authors? I remember one of the very big IT company. So one of India's respected IT company, they were doing a campus interview for management students. One question the HR was asking to all the candidates whom they interviewed. He told, what are the recent favorite publications, books you have studied other than your academic books? To her surprise, people even do not know other than academics what are the books that are available. Those books are being published. And people, they are completely, even I was taken aback. So, the library had all the new books, publications, the self-help books, a lot of books are there. Other than their academic books, they even could not tell the name of a single book. And the HR is telling, oh my God, they are just zero outside. And one student, they had some more vacancies. One student could tell name of some good books and she has studied, and the HR picked up that girl. And that is what is something, called as, many people, they are not aware of what is on the run. What is on the run? So who are the authors, who are the philosophers who have been contributing to the field of management, to your domain? Then they ask you about operational issues. Sometimes little practically, if they get into the topic, they ask you operational issues. They will ask you, suppose these days GST is something in that. They will say, okay, if somebody is giving a GST and the date is a bill of this, he's not getting it within this period, what the person will do? Some of the operational issues are being asked. Then emerging trends in your area which is coming up. Suppose in HR, they will tell, okay, tell me what are the emerging trends coming up in HR. So if you are not aware of the emerging trends in HR, emerging trends in finance, emerging trends in your business area, your topic area, then again, you will sound like you are not somebody who knows things. Then certain formulas, certain equations, those will be asked, certain syntaxes will be asked. Then they may also ask you, when people, they do that, what are the mistakes people commit, which is called procedural mistakes. And then they will ask you suggestions from yourself. They will tell, okay, if you become the manager, how are you going to handle that? That is called your suggestion. They want to say how you really can do that. And some other kind of questions are being done. That is why when you are preparing your subject matter, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If every subject you prepare in these 9 areas, you will find you will always be very good in giving answers in the topics and subjects that you are going to be asked. Second, we tell is HR interview. That means they will be asking you lot of questions about yourself, you as a person. They want to know you as a person. They will tell, have you ever shown a leadership skills? They want to check you as a person. They will tell, have you ever bounced back in life? Like bouncing back means life had a challenge, you have bounced back and you have come up. So have you ever bounced back in life? Like that, what they keep on asking you about some of you they want to understand, because you are an individual who is going to handle their business. So they want to check, are you capable of doing that? Then they check knowledge of economics. They also check in the knowledge of economics, they check about, do you have the ideas about Indian economic, about the state economic that is happening, about the country's economic position, responsibility and remedies, how that economic condition can be improved. Are you having that awareness or not? Then they check with, sometimes they also ask you questions about the political happening in the country. And recently I have seen many interviews, they were asking about the war that has happened between the two countries. Should they say why it happened? Or how is it going to impact the economy? How is it going to impact the business across the countries, And so a lot of questions are being asked in that direction. So you must be knowing politically what is happening and detailed information on that. Then your general awareness, you should be aware of. And then they, in the general awareness, what is being asked, they ask you about the news coverage. They ask you who is who. They will ask you who is the finance minister, So like that, they ask you who is who. Then they ask you the state awareness. Are you aware of it? Then they tell you about the national economic and financial issues. These are some things you should be knowing. And along with the sports news, the basic news items you should be aware of. And that is how, the preparation is going to go. Then about the position where you are going to join, the position that you are going to join, they will ask you, what will you do when you join in this company? If you are not aware of anything about the position, what the person does, that is why this is your background work you must be doing. And if you know how the background work is done and what is it exactly you are expected to deliver in the position that you are going to join, if you are aware of, then the answers will be very spontaneous and the answers will be very accurate. Otherwise, the answers cannot be. Then as we talk about the general awareness burning topics, that goes, and they ask you about your views. So these are some of the areas you must be preparing yourself for the job interview, because that is what companies are looking for, and they know that you will be actually doing it. So what are the changes in the interview pattern that is happening these days? Earlier, the interview pattern, that is generally being seen is called as the qualities of the employees, employee qualities. Then came something called soft skills, and today they are looking for something called behavioral competencies. So when you are going for a job interview, find out which are the minimum behavioral competencies the companies are looking for. So all of you must be knowing about the meaning of competency here, because you are studying management. So they check about the behavioral competencies, and industry to industry, the behavioral competencies, a little variation are there. So like I told you, one of the behavioral competencies at the beginning, I told about 4 behavioral competencies. Many industries, the organizations, they go for about 7 to 9 to 12 behavioral competencies. Like one of the behavioral competency I told you is the business acumen. Second, I told about result orientation. Third, I told about execution excellence. Then there is another thing called as strategic excellence, strategic thinking. I told you about one behavioral competency called as communication skills, leadership skills, customer centricity. These are the behavioral competencies. And today the interview which are mostly being done to check your behavioral competencies. So that's why the pattern is changing. Earlier क्या होता था, जब पहले इंटरव्यू होता था, there was a set of frequently asked questions. Like they will ask you why you want to join our company, where would you like to see yourself after 5 years. So these are the basic questions, you must be knowing. There is a set of questions, and companies are asking you the set of questions, and whoever amongst the student lot or whoever amongst the candidate lot can give the best answer for that question is the candidate who was getting selected, right? So that was a pattern earlier it was happening. Then we are witnessing a pattern which is called frequently asked questions with self-structured answers. Earlier क्या होता है, people are taking the answers from different areas and they were telling the best answer. But today, then a phase came, those questions, but the answer is created by yourself, and even if it's not very grammatically organized, that is still fine. But it should appear that when they are asking you a question, they are just not asking a computer to answer. They're asking a human being to answer, So that is called as the frequently asked questions which are being there. And then they talk about something which is called as a behavioral event interviews with star pattern of answer. So then they talk about something which is called as a behavior event interviews. And here they say that the answer you are giving is a star pattern of answer. So I hope all of you know the meaning of the word star. Do you know the meaning of the word star pattern of answer? Just give me a yes or no.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. This is called situation, task, action, and results. So that means when they are giving you a behavior challenge, they will say, okay, this is the situation, how you are going to do. You talk about the situation, then talk about what is the task in your hand, then talk about what actions you are going to take, and then you talk about what result it is going to give you. So when you talk about the 4 things in your answers appears very practical, and that is how things are going to be go about. That is why what they are looking for is something called as a star pattern of answer. So they ask you questions from there. They're coming a structured answer, and now mostly companies, other than your academic part or this thing, when they're asking the questions, they get into something called a star pattern of answers. And this star pattern of answering is another amazing way of you getting prepared for the job interviews. Therefore, some of the areas that you should be actually looking for or you would be doing is called as, when we talk about soft skills, we say that the soft skills that you are carrying is comprising of 3 things. We say the life skills, the employability skills, and the corporate skills. So these skills you should be having. And as you remember, okay, and as you remember, this equation, all of you know, E is equal to mc square. Can someone tell me what does this mean? When you talk about E is equal to mc square, what do you understand by this? Anybody who can say? No, none of you? Okay. So I think I got an answer. Mass energy equivalency, as Pankaj and Simran has written, yes, theory of relativity, isn't it? So she has given about relativity. So it's called as energy is equal to mass and velocity of light square. And when you look at here, so we say that your effectiveness is equal to material and communication square. That means, yes, that means today we say that if you want to be effective, you should know the knowledge and you should be good in communication. Then the communication gets squared. So we say your effectiveness is equal to the material you have multiplied by communication square. And therefore, when we say about communication square, we say that you should be good in presenting whatever you can present in the interview, and that is what is going to make you something very successful. So what you should look at is when you are going for the interview, we call it that you should be able to make a very good rapport, and your rapport with the interviewer quickly. Then we talk about your linguistics has to be very good. The language has to be very good, because recently I was seeing an article where they say that the international global language for business is English only. And if you really want to succeed internationally in the business, you should be good at English. So that is what, when we talk about the linguistics, and English doesn't mean that you should be completely accurate with all grammars and all. At least if you can become that fantastic, at least you should be good in expressing yourself. That's what he's talking about. And then the answer and body language. So these are things corporates are looking for. And when you are looking at it, you will find that this is something that is going to help you. That is why what you can do every day, when you look at what changes you should be bringing in yourself. If you wake up and you ask a life mantra for yourself, you tell these mantras to yourself. So maybe a week-wise, 7 days mantra you want to tell about yourself. So when you wake up and you are like making a self-talk to yourself every day, you can actually take a mantra. So the mantra number 1, you remember, I'm just writing in the chart when I'm talking to you, and you can definitely look at this mantra. The mantra number 1, whenever you are looking up and every day you want to bring some changes in yourself, one of the mantra you should remember, which is called as, if someone can do, I can do. That is the mantra number 1. So any job you are going for, if you say that I am not ready, someone else will do. That means if someone can do, you really can do. You also have got that power. You also have that potential. You also have that quality. The second mantra you remember. So let me write down this mantra. if someone can do, then you can also do. This is the first mantra, we talk about, and that's what is going to make me very, very successful in whatever I am doing in my life. So this is the first very, very powerful mantra. The second mantra we talk about is that whenever we are preparing ourselves, and the second mantra we are talking about, it is called as, and I'm writing down, you can just skip it that, and this says that there is nothing called failure and only feedback. We say this is another mantra you can always look at. We say there is nothing called failure, only feedback. If you are doing something, and just give me a minute, 1 minute. So we are saying, if there is nothing called failure, if I could not do something, it is not a failure, rather it's a feedback, and whatever I'm learning from it, it is going to help me out. The third thing that we talk about, another principle of mantra here, is called as all the resources are within us. Suppose I want to achieve something, believe me, I will never have a self-doubt on myself. Can I do that? Because actually all the resources are present within you, and you only have to think what you can do. And if you know what you can do, you just can do that. That is why any task which is given to you, these are all doable. And this is what we call that all the resources are within us. And if all the resources are within us, then we only can actually change ourselves, and we can do that. That is why we are so powerful. And the fourth thing is called as positive change comes by adding resources. That means if I want to bring in a change in myself, I got to find out what am I not doing. And now if I do that, I can be a better person of myself. So this is called as some of the mantras you can look at your life. And
Sir, what is the fourth one?
Fourth one is called positive change comes by adding resources. The positive change comes by adding resources. So these are some of the mantras you really can look at. And now what I can do, let me take some questions from you. And after the question answer session, I will tell you my last point, then we will close the class today. So if you have got any questions now, you can ask. Okay, here you are asking, let me ask you, positive change comes by adding resources. Okay, Astos. So my dear friends, if you have any questions, let us discuss a bit of question answers. Then we will complete, then I will tell the last point and complete it. Anyone has got any questions, you can ask.
Hello, excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, if someone is good in communication, then how to bring that confidence in while communicating with others? Means I'm good at communication, but sometimes I lack confidence in while communicating with others. So how to confront that?
Dekho, confidence comes with a couple of ways. Generally, everything that I do is actually a mental imprint. अगर मेरा दिमाग में मैंने imprint बनाया कि मैं कर पाऊंगा तो मैं कर पाऊंगा. So that is where confidence comes from, the imprint here. If I'm good at communication, that means मुझे communicate करने के लिए problem नहीं है. क्या होता है, even if I'm good at communication, sometimes I cannot communicate because I think probably मैं गलत हो जाऊंगा, isn't it? That is why what we can do, हम लोग actually generally दो चीज आप इधर कर सकते हो, because there is a way to completely change your mental imprint that I cannot explain in this such a less time how it is this imprint can be done. But you know what you can do is that when you are answering, generally हम लोग का क्या होता है, communication comes from a live position. अगर आप जानते हो there are 4 life position होती है. One is called as I am okay, you are okay. You know, this is one life position. Second life position is called as I am okay, you are not okay. This is a life position where I show my superiority complex. Third, I says that I am not okay, you are okay. That means I show my inferiority complex. And जहाँ पे मैं अपना inferiority complex दिखा रहा हूँ, वहीं पे you know what happens, the confidence gets challenged. That is the first thing I should always hold in my mind, that whether in the interviews, that whether I am right or wrong, that is the secondary thing. First thing is that let me speak. So हम लोग क्या होता है, thinking that I will be evaluated, मुझे कोई evaluate करेगा, हम लोग क्या होते हैं, जो जानते हैं वो भी बोलते नहीं है. But the moment you tell yourself, चाहे मुझे कुछ भी evaluate करे, evaluation doesn't matter for me. What matters is I will be authentic to myself. मुझे जो बोलना है मैं बोल के आऊंगा. So that is when you tell this to yourself. Today in the job interview, when I'm going, I will not be scary of evaluation. क्योंकि evaluate तो जिंदगी में हर कोई करता है. So that is what you will tell Kia. Let them do the evaluation, their part. Let me do my part. So you make that self-talk to you, and you go to the interview. You will find probably you will be in a higher charge with the this confidence, John T. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So nice of you, John T. Any other questions? Thank you so much, Chandan. Thank you, Chandan. So any other questions, friends? Any one of you? Chandan, really you should tell people how to make, this health the way you have maintained. Very nice. Health is wealth.
So what about relocation you have told? Like you have to broaden your mind during relocation. If someone wants to relocate, then you should adaptable. So what's the perspective do you have on that?
Okay, Santosh, most of the time growth in position comes with relocation, right? Growth in position comes with relocation. आप देखोगे many companies के headquarters may not be even now in many locations. All the headquarters are at some selected positions, right? Headquarters are not like branches. So if somebody is working in a branch and somebody wants to grow, then he should have a multi-branch experience, right? When you have a multi-branch experience, then you can grow towards, bigger position. You may be getting a headquarter posting and a better posting where the general facility for life becomes easier. But many people, if you do not take a multi-branch facility, posting, I tell you, I'm not naming the bank. In one of the banks in Bhubaneswar, there was a branch head, and when we had gone to the branch, we met with the branch head. There was a, I think, deputy branch or assistant branch manager, we called it. I think assistant branch manager. There was a gentleman who was the assistant branch manager. He was not a branch head, okay? And he was doing, since we had the account, so he was in touch with us. And sometimes I was not in touch with him. So sometimes I had gone to the bank and I looked for him. I told, so is there in the bank or not? Then he told, and that posting was in Bhubaneswar. Then he told, nahi sir, vartan se Bhubaneswar Baluga padichandi. Mu kali Bhubaneswar chhadi ki jane Baluga kahin gale? Se kale because he got a posting as a branch manager. Here he was an assistant branch manager, and he became a branch manager. Then he told, so what happens to gain that additional knowledge, that additional experience of completely handling a branch, because when you are handling a branch, you are handling a business. So this pressure, if you learn taking up this pressure, your growth will be much better. That is what happens. Many people, they sacrifice their professional growth because of not open to relocation. So that is why most of the time what happens, people, they look at, I have a family. If I go there, what will have the family? So that way, everything, every planning is all integral, interlinked. And that's what you must be looking at, if somebody is looking at, somebody must be looking at, how it is must be happening. So relocation is definitely one of the things, if you are open with your mind, that will be always helpful.
Thank you, sir.
So nice, Santosh.
Sir, I have one question
Yes, Devashish.
regarding that all the resources are within us, and
Mhm.
positive change comes by adding the resources.
Hmm.
So, what is the correct time to evaluate ourselves, and what are the options available to check that resources and all?
Very good. Let me give you an example of my student life, because I am also a product of Bani Bihar, my student life. Most of the time, suppose I want to check, do I have a leadership skill? Suppose I want to check because I never knew what are the skills I did have. So when this idea came to my mind, what I did, I just talked to some of my friends and then I told, okay, let us go and do an activity. Maybe I may through industrial tour, we had been on industrial tour or some other visits. I just checked that can I inspire a group of people to do something meaningful for us? And when you keep on doing, certain activities, you will find that actually this quality is present in you. Probably you have never used it. Because when I was a student, I was bit shy type and bit aggressive as well. Both are combination in me. That is because of both the things are there in me. Sometimes some of the qualities I have never done. But when then I started using those qualities, I find, yes, I'm able to do that. That is why, what happens, my dear friends, most of the time, if you want to check and cross-check about a quality, do the activity and see that this resource is actually within you. And since this resource is within you, it is hidden form. You can bring a change when you take it from the hidden form and add it to your, conscious, so that now consciously you are aware of. We use a word called TOMA, that is called top of the mind awareness. So you are now consciously keeping that quality in the top of the mind awareness, and here from you can proceed ahead and do. Okay. I loved your batch. This batch of students are all of you very good. Lot of interaction, lot of questions you are asking, and I really loved it. Your batch is that even in the chat window, all of you are communicating, asking, which is really really good. Very good batch. Dr. Rashmi, I mean, you have really curated the students very well.
Sir, am I audible?
Yes.
Sir, like in a before every, sir, I'm Ronak Mohanty.
Oh, Ronak, yes, very good. Yes. Thank you, Jitendra. Thank you, Lexita. Yes, Ronak. Thank
Sir,
you.
before every interview, there is always a I'm always like confident in my skills, but there is always this concern that if I claim to take responsibility for things that I have never had an experience with, I would either be caught that I'm lying about my skills, or I might get into a situation which I cannot handle. So what my question is, how do we judge our worth and how do we present it?
Ronak, I love this question. Kahenki, this question is very, very, thank you, Janti, Kishore, Chandan, and all of you, Bhavani. Why I love this question, Chandan? This is actually a real life situation. Most of the time, the interviewer, what they do, they ask you certain things. You have never done it. And there, for getting the job, you tell, yes, I can do this. And later on, maybe you will be seeing that if the situation comes, it is very challenging. Remember one thing always in this formula. The first principle, what I told you. Thank you, Deepak. The first principle, the first principle, principle one of the principle I told, if someone can do, anyone can learn to do. So even if you have not done through that situation, if that situation is handled by someone, means it is a doable situation. If it is a doable situation, you really can do that. Most of the time, what happens in life, out of the challenging situations, 80% of the challenging situations are not to be done in hurried. You got time for this. Maybe 15-20% of the challenging situation, maybe you have to do is challenges. Okay. Thank you, Sudeep. Thank you, Deepak. So there may be some of the situations which is challenging to you. So the first thing what we do, if I know that someone can do, I definitely can do. Ronak, you definitely can do. And for that, what you got to do, whoever is your well-wishers, if you want, you are in that situation, you can always take a suggestion from them. Or you can ask yourself to one question. But a बहुत बड़ा question हमको guide करे. We self-help question that we tell that what is it that I am not doing in this situation that a successful person in this situation could have done. Your brain ro chapter mein jo learning capability ko gote hoche cognitive learning. If you ask the right question to the brain will give you the right answer because all the answers are with your brain. So that is the moment you ask yourself, what is it that I'm not doing that a successful person would be doing? You will find in sometimes you will get the answer how to do that situation. And I ask you that, that is why what happens when we start communicating in the manner of questions, we become more powerful. Suppose mu kahibi, mu eta ek amata kori debi. This is an affirmation. But if I convert the affirmation to an affirmative question, mu kahibi, mu ek amata kemiti badhiya karibi. So there is an affirmation, mu badhiya karibi, and there is a question, kemiti. What happens? Your brain will now see the best of the way possible. That is why, Ronak, I will tell you one thing. Communicate yourself in questions. And when you communicate yourself in questions, communicate in affirmative questions, you will find life ro bahut bada challenge, very big challenges become very easy the moment we talk to us with affirmative questions. Bujila, Ronak?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Ronak.
Thank you, sir.
So nice. Thank you, Asutosh. Thank you, Subhasmita. Thank you, Jitendra. Thank you, Jitendra. Thank you, Purnendu. Thank you, all of you. My last point before I close the session is that, thank you, Rupali. Before I close the session, that believe in yourself. Thank you, Loknath. Thank you, all of you, Sangram and Pajuna. If you believe in yourself, you can move masses. And people who believed, they become IIT topper. People who believe, they become company toppers. People who believe, they become everywhere, they become successful. Have this belief in yourself, and you are an amazing person in life. So my blessings to all of you. Be very, very successful in life.
Sir, this is Rashmi.
Yes, Dr. Rashmi.
Sir, thank you so much for this interesting and very knowledgeable session, sir.
Thank you.
I, sir, give vote of thanks to you on behalf of whole TDC family and from all the students present over here. I cite my thanks to you, sir, that you have given some time from your busy schedule and you have given so much of information to our students. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, all of you. Thank you, Geeta. Thank you, Priyanka, Sudeep, Jyoti, Lala Tendu, all of you. Puspanjali, all of you, Lala Tendu. Enjoy your life. Priti, thank you.
So, student, I have a request to all of you. Please go to the chat box and fill the feedback form. So, on the base of this feedback form, we'll take the attendance, and on base of that attendance, we will, send you the certificate. So, kindly go to the chat box and fill the feedback form, which is essential for this attendance purpose. And we also wants to know that how you will enjoy this session or not. So for that, you go to the chat box and fill the feedback form. It is essential. Thank you to all of you, and have a nice night. Good night to all of you. Once you fill the form, then you can leave. There is no need to stay. Once you fill the form, you can leave, and this the site will open up till 8:40. It is 8:34 and site will open up till 8:40. So जो मैंने भी feedback form देना, I request all of you just give your feedback form, fill this feedback form and then left. Thank you.